Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Davalik class starship from the Romulan Star Empire. So, the Davalik class was a type of swift warbird that saw service with the Romulan Star Empire during the 24th century. The class entered service in roughly 2367 by Earth Recognition. The Recognition Manual, Volume 3, Starships of Klingon Empire and the Binyan War source book is where they got that information from here on Wikipedia or Fandom. This is developed in the 2360s using many of the specifications from the Deuterix class. The Davalik resembles its larger cousin, with the principal difference between or being the lack of ventral superstructure between the nacelles, and that the wing pylons swept forward more sharply. The Davalik was a fast and maneuverable craft despite its size. It had a high standard and maximum warp speed, but was not able to maintain its maximum warp as long as the Deuterix. It was also heavily armed and shielded. The class was initially designed as a support vessel for the enormous Savarin class dreadnought. After the Savarin design was canceled, the class was shifted to perimeter defense and rapid response role. Many served in the fleets of the Romulan Star Navy, assigned to defend its core worlds, and this also comes from Ship Recognition Manual, Volume 5. And that's all the write up that they really have here. Now, for what they have listed, it has a length of 822 meters, a beam of 753 meters, and a draft of 303 meters. Maximum warp was a 9.6. Has six disruptor cannons, one plasma torpedo launcher, has deflector shields and a cloaking device, and is supposed to have a crew of about 1,450. That's all the information I have from here. I do not have this on Daystrom's website, so unfortunately I couldn't go to there. That's why we're here on the fandom. And of course, this is not something I have in any of the other role playing game books for a background on the history of it or anything else, and some of the information that they had gotten for making the game. So from here, let's transfer over and see what kind of stats we have from D6 Holocron. So looking here at our D6 Holocron uh, stats here, this is a capital class starship, again with the length of 822 meters, uh, a width of 753 meters, and a height of 303 meters. Uh, they're listing this as having a mass of 6,230,000 metric tons, and this is going to be a size 10 starship. So, again, another very large starship for the Romulan Star Empire. Has an autopilot of a 3D plus 1. So, yes, it can pilot itself a little bit better than your standard. We do have a crew of 1,450, which was mentioned in the other write up. Figuring that a skeleton crew being about one tenth of the size, being 145 with a plus 10 to all rolls, trying to be able to manage the ship. All right, and with this, we have a passenger capacity of 5,513. Probably troops for trying to hit either stations or other planets or whatever. We have a listed cargo capacity of being 100,000 metric tons. We do have enough consumables on board for roughly 3 years. Now, our standard warp is going to be a 6. Our maximum warp would be a 9.2, and our max rated is going to be a 9.6 for 12 hours. As always, with all of our Star Trek vessels, they are going to have a nav computer. Maneuverability is going to be a 0D plus 2. Has a space speed of 9, a hull of 6D, and shields of 3D plus 2. So, a little bit above average, and the hull is very resilient. Looking at our sensors here, We have a passive scan going out to 3.5 kilometers with a 1D plus 1 bonus, an active scan going out to 10 kilometers with a 1D plus 2 bonus, an active search going out to 14 kilometers at a 2D plus 1 bonus, and a focus out to 500 meters with a 3D bonus. With the cloaking device that is on board, while cloaked, it has a plus 3D plus 2 difficulty to try and detect a ship from any other searching vessels. We do have 5 type Valkar disruptor arrays. Now, 3 of these are 360 degree forward, 2 of them are 360 degrees ventral. Um, let's see, we do have a crew of 1, as always seen on Star Trek, for firing them. We have a fire control of 2D. They have a rate of fire of 5. So each weapon can shoot 5 times per round, with a damage being of 5D each attack. We do have the 2 high yield, well, there would be actually plasma torpedo. No, it says photon torpedoes or torpedo launchers, as well as having the class, what would it be, 14 plasma torpedoes. So going for our regular torpedoes, one is forward, one is aft. We do have something is messed up here because we have a fire control of 2D and a spread of 10, but there is no damage listed. And I guess that, all right, so depending on whether we're using the plasma torpedoes or singularity torpedoes. So you could shoot, say, 10 plasma torpedoes, which they have 100 on board uh, per round, and it does 12D damage per torpedo. Or we could have type G2 singularity torpedoes, which there are 8 or 200 on board, and they do 8 damage per torpedo. That's where that comes in. We do have 4 class Delta tractor beams, 2 forward and 2 aft. Again, typically what we see this is whether you're trying to either capture an asteroid to keep it from hitting into something, capture another ship to either hold it at bay or keep it from falling into a planetary orbit, or so on and so forth. With that, we have a fire control of only a +2 and a strength of 3D. All right, so, or no, 4D +2. Our class Alpha tractor beam, which is for getting our shuttles back into the shuttle bays. That's got the fire of +2. Where our standard tractor beam, I'm sorry, I messed that up, is a 1D +1, and our uh, shuttle bay tractor beam has strength of 3D. All the other miscellaneous stuff that V6 Holocron has really given us, which adds a lot more flavor to things. We have crew quarters, 3,300 for our Spartan. We have 450 that are basic, 75 that are expanded. We have 23 luxury quarters and 12 unusual quarters. There are 67 decks on board. We do have 240 escape pods that can carry 8 personnel in each pod. And again, this is year recognition, or year commissioned is 2368 by Earth Reckoning. We do have 4 transporters with a 6-person capacity. We have 4 emergency transporters, which have a 20-person capacity, and 4 cargo transporters, which have a 400 kilogram rating capacity. For shuttlecraft, we have a complement of 30 shuttles. We do have 60 probes on board and a captain's yacht. So, what they have for a write up coming from the ship recognition manual may very well parrot what we just read, but the Devarik class was a type of swift warbird that saw service in Romulan Star Empire during the 24th century. The class entered service in 2368, developed in the 2360s using many of the specifications from the Deuterix class. The Devarik resembles the larger cousin, with the principal differences being the lack of ventral superstructure. Yeah, this is the same write-up that we had before, just really copied and pasted here. Um, And it's nice. I mean, the fact that D6 Holocron had gone out to try and find different ships for us. Now, it's not to say that I don't have other ships that I've seen in the past I want to try and find and get in there eventually, but at the moment, we're going to go through everything that D6 Holocron has, because the nice thing is if it's something that interests you, this is something that you can go onto and you can grab their ships, print it out, and do a D6 version of Star Trek on your own, which is why I bring all this stuff to you. And again, the D6 being a nice, easy system to work with, and the fact that regrettably West End Games doesn't exist anymore, you can download their books for free, which is the other reason why I bring this to you. Uh, so hopefully everybody here gets a good view of the ship, and an understanding and a love. I had one person that didn't care for the last ships that I put up, didn't feel it was quite right. I know I will never please everybody here. And for that, for those that don't agree with me, I am sorry that you don't. Uh, but, like I said before, take what we have here. I like to tell you where I get the information from, because you can either take it and use it in your games, or if it's just an informational thing or whatever, you can agree or disagree. This is where I get the information from, whether it's right or wrong, because there are so many other ships. I know there's a lot of fan made ships. I'd love to get some of those out there, because some people out there have a lot of wonderful designs, even ones I don't fully agree with, but they're still wonderful designs nonetheless. Um, but as I've said so many times, I prefer smaller ships. And so many people really love the bigger ships, which is wonderful. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes. I'm willing to give 15 minutes of fame to everybody that comes up with it, and I'm willing to try and put it into a D6 universe so we can all share in it and have fun. That's what this is for. With that, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's wonderful having you here. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.